entering Aries starting tomorrow, and it goes through October. This transit is interesting to me because I really wasn't a big fan of Jupiter being in Pisces, in the sign of Pisces. And so I really wanted to talk about this astrological event. I do want to make sure that my video is okay. I'm not sure it's 100% up to speed here. Let me check my chat and make sure. I think actually it is. So I'm going to proceed as if it is. It feels a little bit slow. Um, if there's anybody watching, I just want to check to see if audio is synced up with my video. If anybody is seeing that, please let me know. Checking my audio and video. I'm going to check my audio real quick. Okay. I think it's okay. So I wanted to do this video because I felt like Jupiter in Pisces was a bit of a snooze. And the last time Jupiter was in Pisces, I felt it very, very much. It's always really hard when a lot of planets are in Pisces or water signs, because if you try to nail anything down, it's really, really hard. And Jupiter is one of those planets that's really expansive and helpful and has a lot of blessing energy and really great, mojo energy. And with it being in the sign of Pisces, Pisces is kind of like all about the dream, but it doesn't have the drive to see things through, and it just doesn't necessarily make things happen. It's sort of this very receptive energy. I'm not saying all Pisces are like that, but I'm saying the energy of Pisces itself is very it just lacks drive and follow through, and sometimes even ambition. And so with it being in a Jupiter, I felt like it was, I don't know, kind of a very challenging transit. Let's just put it that way. So I'm actually really excited to see how Jupiter in Aries is going to be. And I want to lay out some cards to see what the energies are. This is, again, going to be for all signs. It's a general reading. This is really just specifically seeing what I get for this transit, overall energies and things like that. Before I jump in, I do want to let everybody know that I am still offering private readings. You can book a reading through my website, oracledaphne.com, and I'd love to book a reading with you. And it's really easy to book a reading. You just send a payment and then email me a good date and time, and I'll get you scheduled. I am still partnering with Jackery, so definitely check out the link in the description box. I have been getting psychic impressions that there's going to be another power outage, and this is abnormal for me. Up until recently, I had never had that, so I definitely encourage everyone to get a solar power generator if possible. I am going to lay out a spread here and just jump in and see what I get. I'm recording this a little bit earlier in the day. I know a lot of people are still at work, but I wanted to do this reading at this time, and I'm just going to lay out a spread and see what I get for the energies. I actually feel like that it's very much a mixed bag for this transit. I do feel that that Jupiter is going to expand your love life. Those of you who are watching, um, taking things to the next level. Those of you who have a complicated love life, um, I will say that it to me feels like it's going to continue to be complicated. It doesn't seem like it's going to change. Um, I feel like some of you, it does mean the ending of a relationship because we have the moon plus the tower later in time. You have this beautiful lovers plus the strength card. The lovers is what's coming in. So to me, this is like a new relationship for some of you. Um, it's interesting that this is what's coming in because I feel like it's hard to hold these up together with my left hand. Hang on. There we go. Because you see this energy here, this is very positive energy. This is immediate future energy and what's coming in. So Jupiter is bringing in some kind of love blessing. Could be from a partner already if you're married, or it could be from a future partner if you are not in a relationship. I do feel like there is some blessing that could be also like you could start off as friends and then take things to the next level. This energy to me, the whole reading is very hot and cold. The whole reading is stop and go, stop and go. We have this five of pentacles as the foundation. The Five of Pentacles is, Miss Lonely Hearts. She's never gonna find love. This could be guy or girl. I usually see this female energy, like believing that you're never gonna find love, believing that nobody is out there. And then what do we have? We have the lovers coming in from the outside. So what Jupiter and Aries is bringing for you, to me, feels like a new relationship. Now, whether you're going to be able to balance this new relationship with your work life is yet to be seen because the outcome is the Two of Pentacles. So this is a balancing act, trying to find the balance between your home life, your work life. Sometimes this is juggling 2 kids, 2 partners, 2 ex-wives. I always say 2 ex-wives, two ex-boyfriends. Whatever the situation is, there's some element. Jupiter is bringing an element of multitasking. Now, I want to talk about the energy of Aries for a second. The first thing that I thought of when I thought of Jupiter and Aries was actually war. And I hate to say that, but I wouldn't be a psychic if I didn't express my opinions and what I see. And Aries is can be a very explosive and warlike sign. The Aries that I have known have either been incredibly subdued with a few bouts of temper or incredibly aggressive. And if they're not aggressive on the outside, to other people, like they may come across as very like warm and kind, compassionate and friendly. They are aggressive in private. They are aggressive in some way. Now, does this mean because okay, and let's go back to like why I said Jupiter and Aries is sort of war. Why? Because Jupiter is a planet about expansion, and Aries is, to me, the war god. So, warrior princess. What happens when you expand a warrior princess? You get war. So like, and I'm laughing at it, and it's not funny. Okay, it absolutely is not funny, and I'm not condoning it. I'm just saying that's what the energy is. It's like you take one person and you multiply that by Jupiter, and you get 100 people, 100,000 people, or 200,000 people. And so to me, I'd like to say that like Jupiter is a positive planet. It is also going to expand the positive aspects of Aries. And the positive aspects of Aries is basically not being filtered, not giving a fuck. Basically going after what you want, regardless of what other people think. It's ambition, it's drive, it's forward momentum. There's no overthinking. It's just doing it and getting it done. Aries, when they do something well, they do something really, really well. When an Aries is tasked with something, they can overdo it, but it's usually other people usually like what they've overdone. So if they've overly done something, it's like an excessive gesture or overly kind gesture or a very overly thought through gesture. That the Aries and the positive aspect of Aries can be. The Aries can also really shoulder the burdens of other people. They can, in the positive aspect, they have balance, the ones that have mastered their Libra shadow. And that means they are carrying a full plate. A lot of times they are the man, like, especially if it's the male, they are the male provider. They are the breadwinner. They are the person that's the dad, you know? So there is, you know, a very strong, expansive, positive expansion of these characteristics. So for everybody, I do think that Jupiter in Aries is going to bring a lot of good luck because it's this springtime energy. The Aries is the springtime energy. And it's new beginnings. It's freshness. Aries love new things. So like to me, this is like the best time to get new things, to start new things, to get excited, to do something that you haven't done before, to get excited, to try new things, regardless of whatever the outcome is going to be. It's very, very positive for new beginnings and new things. Now, I will say that, but I will also say that we have this Mercury retrograde going on, which is going to mess a lot of things up. And every single time Mercury goes into retrograde, I have to reschedule all of my clients. So I'm going to say this. I just want to say this. Anybody who wants a reading should book it and expect not to get a refund during this time. If you book it during the Mercury retrograde, I will not refund. Because I will, at this point, like I've let everybody know that I don't like rescheduling during Mercury retrograde. It makes my life hell. So on the negative side, of expansive energy is that the Aries can be a little bit needy. The Aries can be very dependent. The Aries sometimes need help for a lot longer in life than other people, and well into their adulthood, they need help. It's the baby. I wouldn't actually be surprised if people got pregnant at this time. If those of you who are trying to get pregnant or wanting to get pregnant would get pregnant at this time. I also think that there's going to be maybe an uptick in either pregnancies or babies being born at this time. I'm getting a confirmation from my guides about this. So because Aries is the baby and Jupiter is expanding, so again, there's to me, you know, they did say that the population was decreasing, but that doesn't mean people aren't having kids. I think that at this time there's going to be a lot of people getting pregnant, maybe that couldn't get pregnant before. I feel like Jupiter and Aries on the negative side is, to me, it can feel very stubborn and it can feel very challenging. So Aries if they stick their, heels in, or if they decide they don't want to do something, or if they decide, something pisses them off. Aries does have a lot of drama usually going on. I'm not surprised. So I'm not going to be surprised with Jupiter and Aries that there's more drama than usual, at all. And it's a fire sign, so fires can kind of flame up and then peter out. So everybody's going to really need to watch their energy at this time, watch their temper at this time, watch their what they're going for, and kind of pace themselves and not overeat and not overdrink and not over wallow, because Aries can, the Aries energy, can really wallow at times of what they don't have. And they can be a little bit like they don't really know who they are. A lot of Aries people that haven't done a lot of growth, they don't know who they are. And so because Jupiter's expanding this, there may be a sense for a lot of people that they don't really know, they've lost their identity, and they're trying to figure out who they are now. It's like, with the pandemic, it's like, who are you now versus who were you before, And with the Jupiter and Pisces, it was a dream. And the issue with the Aries, the Jupiter and Aries, is that the bubble is gonna get burst. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were some rude awakenings. If there was some rude awakenings, we have the Tower showing up here. Also, as formative energies, we do have the Death card showing up here too. To me, it's transformation, and the rude awakening of it's sort of like, it's the bear, right, that's been sleeping all winter, and finally wakes up and is really hungry. And is like, I gotta go get some food. So there's some kind of awakening happening with the Jupiter and Aries energy. I do want to check my live chat, make sure I didn't miss anyone. Is that Diamond or Dominique? Sorry. Hi, Dominique. Thanks so much for joining. I forgot to say hi. I'm not sure if you're still there. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. So that's what I see here. I do want to pull some of the cards. There is some loss coming in. I don't know what this losses pertain to. We got the Three of Swords coming in. We also have the Six of Cups coming in. The Six of Cups, I like this energy because it's softer energy. But I'm not sure what this Three of Swords is coming, like what this is pertaining to. Some kind of loss. I'm getting, this is going to sound very strange. There are some things that went on when Jupiter was in Pisces that may have resulted in a loss, or that may have caused some kind of loss now. So like whatever happened when Jupiter was in Pisces, so recently, could be up to 6 months, maybe longer. I don't know exactly how long Jupiter was in Pisces, but the transit wasn't really, really long. But whatever happened, there may have been some elements of loss during that time. And I do feel that you're going to recover from the loss, because we have the Page of Swords coming in also. And the Page of Swords is being lifted up out of hardship. It's being helped out. Plus the Sun card, which is feeling really good. I'm getting a tingle on that. So I do want to say that, like, some of you may have suffered some kind of loss, which led to unhappiness. With the Five of Pentacles as a foundation for this transit, I think a lot of people are going to be wondering what comes next with their love life, or what comes next in relationships, or is there any hope for the future? Hi, One World Show. I was thinking about you the other day. It's so cool that you're showing up. I appreciate. Hi, Tan May. So I don't remember what I was saying. It distracted me. Okay. I was saying how people are going to need some element of hope during this time, during this transit. Like, I think honestly, it's people need to be looking farther out into their life, like planning farther out. The hard part about Jupiter and Aries is that it actually makes it really difficult to get your head out of your ass, because Aries does not plan ahead. They live by the seat of their pants. Getting them to plan is like painful. And so it may be really difficult to have steady plans, to keep plans, to like make a plan and follow through. It's great spur of the moment. Like, I have a best friend in high school, and she's Aries. We could never hang out if we planned it. But like, if I called her spur of the moment and was like, hey, do you want to go out? What are you doing? I've got my, I'm ready to go. Got my car keys. Let's go. She'd be like, yeah, let's go. Let's do it. So for some of you, it's kind of living by the seat of your pants, deciding last minute you're going to go do something, deciding last minute that you're going to change everything, change the game, deciding last minute that maybe you're not going to do something, but you're going to do something else. There's a lot here about needing to plan farther out, but it being challenging to do so. There are pockets. I call them pockets of energy. But again, the Aries energy is so fast. I feel like by the time October comes, it's going to be short. It's going to feel like it didn't even happen. You might even wonder, did this even happen? Did this transit even happen? Because, Aries is such a, like, I was thinking about how long it felt like the sun was in Aries, and it felt like it was like 2 days. That's how long it felt. And the sun had felt like it's been into the sign of Taurus for like 2 years. It felt really long. It felt like, oh my God, like we're never going to get out of the Taurus energy, So, again, to me, this is a fast moving energy. It's going to be great if you need to get things done really fast. If you need to get a lot done in a short period of time, that's this transit. Oh, going back to what I said about pockets. Okay, so there's these pockets of energy which there's fears, worries, and doubts, maybe about finances, but then I also see the Eight of Cups, and I also see the Nine of Pentacles. And, this is your divinity. Eight of Cups is moving, no longer being stressed. I do see cyclical patterns of maybe worries about money, or where money's coming from, or, fears about money, or fears about job stuff. I see cyclical patterns. That's what I want to say here. What else is coming in? I want to see what else is coming in. Some of you are going to get a call back on a job. Some of you are going to get a call. It could be more than one. And to me, this is like one that you've been waiting on. or if you've been waiting on hearing from somebody, like it doesn't have to be job related, um, you're going to get a phone call. It's specifically a phone call. Somebody's going to be calling you. I don't know entirely what it's regarding. It's a little bit mysterious to me. My guides are not really showing it to me. For some of you, this is good news. I actually feel like for some of you, this is good news. This is clients, or this is customers, or this is like I said, a job. For others, it's if it's from, say, someone that you don't want to talk to, this may piss you off a little bit or be frustrating a little bit. Going back to Jupiter and Aries. Jupiter and Aries it can get very frustrated. Aries can get very frustrated and very heated, and an Aries temper can cause, and I will say, Aries to me is like the Helen of Troy. I have had some really good advice from Aries, but I also have had some really bad advice from Aries. And it really depends on how mature the Aries is. If they are not that mature, and maturity with Aries is slow. So again, during this transit, we may be dealing with some people who are immature, who are not acting from a place of, older and wiser. I would encourage everybody to be very careful about the advice that they get at this time. If they get advice, make sure it is coming from somebody who is older and wiser, or at least it is sound, is like well thought through. Those of you who take advice from someone who's not older and wiser might live to regret that. But at the same time, even if you were to take the Aries advice and it would result in some kind of loss, you're going to learn from that experience. So it's not like the worst thing in the world, but I have been given some very bad advice and some bad shit has happened from Aries people. To me, they oftentimes think that they know what the answer is. A lot of times they think that they know what's best. Sometimes they think that they know how to do things, but they only know from their perspective. They don't think about it, what's best for you. They only know what worked for them. See, because Aries cannot see past its own nose. So they assume or think that if it worked for them, then it's going to work for you. This is a very interesting thing that comes up, because the elements of compassion and trying to put yourself in other people's shoes may be and other people not being able to put themselves in your shoes may be like the linchpin in this whole energy, this whole transit. Because there's a lack of compassion on this planet. There's a lot of keeping up with the Joneses. There's a lot of keeping up with other people. The Aries, and I hate to say this, can do things specifically for financial reasons. They have their needs in mind. So like if you ask an Aries, what do they want to do? They're going to think about something that they have wanted. So it's not going to be a win-win. It's going to be like, okay, can you drive them to the mall so that they can go buy the pair of shoes that they've been wanting for like 5 years? That's the Aries energy. So everybody needs to be very cognizant of, creating a win-win with other people. Asking people, how are they doing today? Is there anything they need? Is there anything that they want to do or that you can do with them together that would be fun or that would be productive? Or that would be good for the planet, something, I have not met, and I have to say this, I have not met any Aries people that have been incredibly generous. I've met Aries people who have been incredibly penny pinching. Does that mean people cannot be generous at this time? No. Does that mean all Aries are counting their pennies and saving up and never giving a dime to other people? No. I am sure that on this planet, there are some Aries that have beautiful hearts and that are incredibly generous people. But I have never met them. So, and I've met a lot of people. Does that mean it can't happen? No, it just means that, again, in my experience, I have not seen that. I'd like to think that at this time on this planet, people are going to try to pull together and create a win-win and do things with other people for the planet, for each other. But with the Jupiter energy that's expanding, the Aries energy, which I have only seen as penny pinching and needy, and it lacks generosity, it lacks humility, and it lacks understanding and compassion for others. It lacks understanding of others, and it lacks others' perspective. I can only say that it's very possible with this Jupiter and Aries transit that people will really need to work on creating the win, creating some kind of positive thing, working together on a mutual, like building a dream together, building a life together, building something together, being productive together. If they don't, then this Jupiter transit can really set everybody up for failure, in the sense that people will become, or could become, more self-focused, less generous, more greedy than they already are, more materialistic, more, to each his own kind of thing, or you're on your own kid kind of thing. And I've already started to feel this a little bit. I felt this with people. It's just an energy of you're on your own. You've got to learn to do it for yourself. And already, sorry, it's my tea. Already people feel, because of social media, that that they're holding up their life in front of everybody else for scrutiny. And Aries can be extremely critical. Aries can be extremely harsh, abrasive, unfiltered, and in some cases unkind. And I hate to say this, but hate stems from war energy, from polarity energy, the beginning of the polarity, the beginning. Okay, if we were to think about it, itself, if it starts with Aries, it starts with the bang, the pop. And it's not necessarily, and it's expanding, but it's expanding very slowly. So to me, the growth of Aries is a little bit, I hate to say this, stunted. It can be because of Jupiter. It could be, to me, really, really, really expansive, or really, really stunted. And I think that this period of time is crucial for everybody. How much do you want to grow during this time? How much are you willing to sacrifice at this time for growth? How much are you willing to work with others at this time on a team? Create the win. Make good things happen. Be generous. Be kind. How much are you willing, and how much effort are you willing to put into that? Because if nobody's willing to put in the effort, then essentially what it will become within a year's time, that basically will be every man for himself. And I don't like to see that. And if there's a war, it will be every man for himself. So growing community, maybe joining a community garden, joining an online group, even if it's online, it doesn't even matter. Joining an online group where you're connecting with like-minded people, where you're having healthy discussions. Believing that you don't have to hold up your life for other people's approval at this time is also crucial. Nobody gets to have an opinion on what you think is best for your life. Other people might think that they know what's best for you, but really only you know what's best for you. And the healthy side of this Aries transit is determining what's best for you. Not what's best for your family, for the children, for your neighbors, but what's best for you. And growing that. Because we cannot live for other people. We have to be a little bit in some way selfish. We have to know what we want. So use this time to figure out what it is that you want. And stop maybe pleasing other people. Stop holding your life up for scrutiny. Stop asking for the opinion of everybody else, because you know what's best. At the bottom, in the back of your mind, you know what's best. Which brings me to the other thing is, Aries is very like, they're in their head. So there's going to be more brain stuff happening. Maybe more brain, I don't know if it's brain injuries, but like more brain stuff to do with the brain and the head. And the fact that there's all this virtual reality stuff and the meta stuff, there's going to be problems there. I've already seen that there's going to be problems there. I would really highly encourage you to get in touch with the reality that we've got going. If everybody starts to really fall into the virtual reality trap, there will be problems with the brain. There will be serious problems with the brain. It, to me, like, Aries is very concave. It's very, it's that, it's, I don't know, it curls inward. It's a curling kind of energy. So combined with the Jupiter, it feels like a little bit forced. A little bit like the Jupiter energy is trying to pull everybody out of their shell. Is trying to get everybody to become part of a community. Is trying to get everybody to reconnect again or reunite again. Again, we have the Lover's energy coming in, which is romance, which is love. So, I also go the Ace of Wands, so that's the fire energy, that's the sex energy. So I think that even if you feel like you're being forced to expand or grow in some way, it is for the best. I do feel that. Some of you may see an improvement in your sex life. It's showing up here really loud and clear. So, if that's that fire, that passion energy. I want to check my chat, make sure I didn't miss anybody. No. Okay. I think this is where I want to leave it. I may come back on here a little bit later. I'm going to head out and come back. I appreciate everybody's love and support at this time. All donations are appreciated, even if it's small, even if it's $5, super appreciated at this time. People have not been donating. People have not been booking. I had my sale yesterday and not one person booked yesterday. So that actually scares me a little bit because I actually discounted my readings that much. There is a lot of stuff going on right now in this town with housing and housing assistance. So a lot of people maybe not have enough to pay bills. It does worry me a lot that happened. So all donations and everything's really appreciated at this time. I'll keep everybody posted as far as my job search. I'd like to continue to do more readings, but I feel quite exhausted from continuing to post readings that nobody really sees. And so I get frustrated and upset a little bit about that. But, you know, I just wanted to say that if you are watching this, you know, please donate. Anything is appreciated at this time. So I send everyone big hugs, big kisses. And I will talk to you guys again soon. I wish you guys all the best. And yeah, good luck with this transit. Talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.